Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raul,
And it's Mike.
and we'd like to welcome you back to the AO podcast. This is episode 58.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get into it, as always, make sure you guys subscribe right here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the podcast on either Spotify or Apple Podcast, and links for links for everything, including our socials, is going to be down in the description as always. Now,
Yes.
Real quick to address the socials, I know we haven't posted on TikTok in a minute, and that's
Yes.
the main one where we tend to get the most views, and that is because if you guys haven't watched the previous episodes, then you would know that Mike actually recently took over the editing. So we're still in the process of I'm trying to give him all the the login info for all the social media platforms and stuff, so he can be posting on there. So
It's a transition.
Yeah,
It's a
so-
transition for sure.
yeah, so just stay tuned because we will be having videos up on TikTok very soon.
But now Spotify has videos, so
Yeah,
the last
so-
two episodes, if you have on Spotify, I'd be like, I don't want to watch on
Yeah,
YouTube.
even though previously there was literally only one that I did by mistake.
So I've just been doing that fucking shit now. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you listen to us on Spotify, so I guess the newer episodes have videos with them. So
And I think they've been solid episodes because
Yeah.
that last episode is fucking
if
hilarious.
you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. But here's the thing: I was telling Mike this before we started recording. I find it oddly ironic that every time we seem to get ready to record for a certain week and we don't have anything very specific to talk about, we're always kind of in that dilemma of yo, what the fuck are we gonna be what are we gonna talk about for this episode? And for whatever reason, every time that fucking happens, some crazy ass fucking shit just
That's
seems
how you
to,
start this
happen.
off.
Some crazy ass shit just seems to happen, and we're like, well, I guess we know what the fuck we're gonna talk about.
Oh man.
So yeah, if you guys have literally been on the internet at all this past week,
Not even internet. You go out, people are talking about it in person because this is a fucking serious shit.
so for those of you who don't know, last week I believe, Charlie Kirk, who I'll be honest, prior to him being parodied on the recent South Park episode,
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea who that was. I had heard the name before, but I never knew what he did exactly. Because I remember I asked you, I don't know if it was on the podcast or before we started recording that episode. I was like, hey, who is this dude? Because I saw that they had released the image where it's Cartman looking like him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know that I've heard that name before, but I have no idea who this dude is. So it was literally thanks to South Park why I found out about who he was. So for those of you who don't know, he was a right-wing, conservative, basically podcaster who essentially made rose to fame by having these debate videos where he would go to different colleges and just debate on various topics, such as gun violence, abortion, just stuff like that. Race.
The heaviest of topics. You know.
And he was recently on a tour, actually, where he was going around different campuses in the United States, essentially filming the show. And he was recently doing one in Utah. And during the podcast, which was being held outside, Charlie Kirk was sitting under a tent, and that is when a lone gunman decided to take him out. And it was very big news when it happened. And I don't really want to spend too much time on the incident itself, because I feel like what transpired because of this incident is even way more crazier. But just real quick before we because I'm not gonna get into it, because there's countless videos.
Yeah.
You can literally see everything that you want about this incident literally anywhere on the internet. So I think before we get into the aftermath of what happened, I think we'll take this time to where me and Mike will both give our own separate opinions on how we felt about this whole situation. Just that way we're not talking over each other.
Yeah, and if you do want our deep opinions of how we feel about this, just follow us on other platforms.
Yeah.
You'll get more detail on how we individually feel
Yeah.
about this in our stories.
So I guess I'll go first. Like I said, I didn't really know who he was prior to the South Park episode. After learning about who he was and seeing some of the clips that have been going around on Twitter for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
um, I can honestly say that I disagree with a lot of what he says. Was not I very quickly found out that I'm not a big fan of him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with that being said, it is very unfortunate the way his life ended.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the most part, out of anybody that I would feel very sorry for in this whole situation would be his kids,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously his kids are very fucking young. They obviously have no idea what the fuck is going on. All they know is that they just lost their dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And they're very young too, so
yeah,
probably their first memories of their dad are probably not going to
yeah, and
be
like, and
when
also
he's
like them
alive.
being that young, they obviously didn't know what the fuck their dad was out here doing and
Mm-hmm.
saying. So out of this whole situation, they're the ones that I feel the most sorry. Um, uh, and it is also unfortunate because the one thing that I was taking into consideration is like speaking about the times that we live in now. And like I said, if you literally want to see the video of the incident, there's not only a video, there's various videos from
Very.
different angles
Mm-hmm.
of the situation. And the thing that I find kind of weirdly tragic in a way is that because it's the internet and it's out there, it's never going anywhere. And so there is a high chance that like when his kids get older that they could eventually come across that video.
Not only that, like very young too. They could be, any age that incident will like bring trauma to one's face, but like they're probably gonna high chance they're gonna see it young too.
Yeah.
So
So
the publicization
yeah,
and
wait,
like
real quick.
the view of it
Yeah.
is tragic.
Yeah. So just to wrap up my whole opinion on it, I'm not gonna sit here and make fun of the situation, but I am gonna be completely honest on how I feel just from the very little that I knew about the man. There was a very there was a particular clip that resurfaced where he was giving a speech somewhere, and I found it very interesting just given the situation because it was a clip of him essentially saying that, you know, if if Americans had to suffer through a few gun related deaths in America for in order for Americans to be able to keep their guns, then essentially it just kind of is what it is. And
Yeah.
as you know, as somebody who I believe Charlie Kirk to be, even though I didn't believe with his views, he seemed like somebody who, at the very least, did stand behind the shit that he said. So if I'm here, if I'm to sit here and take you at your word and respect what you say, even though I might not agree with it, then I mean, like I said, it's unfortunate for his family that they have to deal with the aftermath of this.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Charlie Kirk himself is concerned, I will respectfully honor what I believe his thoughts and opinions would be to the situation. And, you know, from what it looks like, Americans still have their guns. So, I mean, as unfortunate of a situation as it was, you know, it kind of is what it is. And that's just how I personally feel about it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was very well articulated, actually. Uh, what you said, because it ponders within me too. I will say this: I'm not gonna go in because I've been going in all fucking week, and I'm a little tired. Also, really fucking high. We just took a fat hit of
Yeah.
the pens,
We
so
know we have to get ready for this. One.
so it's just. Usually with these serious things, people are like, "Let's get sober, professional."
Yeah, like.
But we were like, "We just
We're
let's
not
take a
fucking
fat,
Fox News.
take a fat hit." It's like what we say may be crazier, but you know what? Fox News is a bit crazy. Look, I'm not even gonna go into that, but there's only so much empathy I could give to someone who's passed away, whose own mission is just fronted by hate. I'm not gonna say he was filled with hate, because out of all the right wingers, he was actually unbelievably one of the better ones. Like there are so many others that are just way more worse than him, but he still perpetrated a lot of hate forward in the within the world that I can't fuck with. That being said, I think the way he went out was very is very disturbing, very shocking. Even how usually like some a lot of people I look up to, a lot of my idols die quickly and get shot as well. So like to see to see this person who to do that is just like to that way that public like you said there's every angle with this and all of it is really disturbing
and you would have fucking figured like the amount of angles that there were to this shit. You would have figured that somebody had like a 360 camera like just fucking going around.
I know. And it's also like people like they're finding out if he passed away or not. I'm like, one of the first videos I saw was just like oh my god, fuck it. It looked like he was like someone turned on the fucking kitchen sink and like the fucking water just sprayed out. Like he was on the spot. It was on the spot, yeah, like, and it was very fucked up.
Because one of the very first ones that I saw was the one from kind of far away.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't until I watched one of the ones where it was like actually up close where I was like, oh no, yeah, that was instant.
No, it's like just even the images is very shocking and sad, and none of this is good. Nothing coming out here is good. Everything's like somehow even more division is in America right now, and I didn't think that would be possible, but there is. And then I'm just seeing the people on left and right. I think are fucking dog shit. I think using images as the jokes, I think is just a little too far for me personally. Like honestly, the actual images of him just.
Yeah, I think the thing too that I kind of gathered from this whole thing after the aftermath of everything that happened is kind of how you see like the hypocrisy come out in full swing
on both sides.
Because like here we have like again like you said like on both sides, because on one hand you have I don't know, I guess like people on the left, I don't know how else you would categorize that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have people on the left who are celebrating his death, and I'm not gonna sit here and say whether that's wrong or right.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously there's some people that obviously might feel a little bit deeply about what he said because of certain issues
mm-hmm.
that he touched on. But so like I'm not gonna speak on how to tell somebody how to feel. But you have people that are celebrating his death, and you have people. I find it funny because you have people on the right that like I want to speak up so highly about it, but yet you are also championing the fact that Charlie Kirk did nothing wrong because all he was doing was using free speech.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, again, it's just kind of that whole thing where again, granted, it might be fucked up to some people, mm-hmm. like to make fun of somebody after they pass away. It's like, you can't, if we're going to have free speech, then it just has to be that free speech. I mean, well, mm-hmm. Granted, I didn't fucking like what Charlie Kirk had to say, but I mean, he had a right to say it.
Mm-hmm. If he thought it, he spoke it, and he used every bit of that amendment to do that.
Yeah, and so it's like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just the way that like shit like that gets played around with when like something like this happens. I find it so funny to me because if anything, it just it exposes just exactly how hypocritical some people are, and I don't know, it's just I think. The main thing that I take away from the situation is just the amount of shit that has come because of it. And one of the big things that just recently happened is Jimmy Kimmel was recently indefinitely suspended from his late night talk show for making some comments about Charlie Kirk. Now, and mind you, here's the thing where, again, free speech comes into play, because if you actually go and you look up that clip about what Jimmy Kimmel said, he didn't even make a joke. Like, he was literally just talking about how, in his opinion, he thinks that people on the right were using Charlie Kirk's death to benefit themselves and their agenda. Mm-hmm. And that's literally all he fucking said. And that's the reason why he got pulled off the air. Mm-hmm. And so it's like we have these events, and this is unfortunately not the first time that we've talked about something like this, when we addressed the,
3 weeks ago.
when we addressed the first episode of the new season of South Park, one of the big talking points in that episode was how Paramount got rid of the Stephen Colbert Show after he made some disparaging remarks about Donald Trump. And so it's like it's crazy because we are literally witnessing like media censorship like in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because obviously this shit happened back in the day, but it's just like it's crazy to see it happening again, and
Just
especially in
full on repeating.
and in such a and not only that, but in such a modern world that we live in, where it's like it's crazy that this shit is like still gets to happen.
No, and it's like you think, and in the 50s, although nothing was fucking that subtle in the 50s, it felt more secretive, like subtle. Like when we were you know, we were a generation born after, you know, we were like one of the first generations to view news and media through a worldwide lens, and as such like an eye-opening lens. But it's crazy to see the bypasses people go through to in here. And it felt like more secretive in the 50s, but the fact that it's just so plain out there, just plain out there in the fucking open, just pure modern corruption,
Yeah, you would
at its
never
finest.
think that a fucking wasn't it Coca-Cola that actually used to have cocaine in the recipe?
Yeah, they wouldn't be like, hey guys, we have this. Even though if they would do that now, people would go out and fucking buy that shit.
Bro, like that's
People-
fucking wild. Bro, Coca-Cola literally
Like,
they literally
We would probably buy it for the podcast if it meant.
I just fucking picture fucking Pusha T and Malice like dropping little fucking
Oh yeah, they use them as the fucking ad. Just in the background, chains and whips, so someone's opening a fucking cocaine cola.
cocaine. I fucking hate you. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh,
We're talking about the right.
Censorship, yeah. Fucking that's what happened. We just get thrown off by the most random.
That's why we needed the thing, because this is, I'm gonna be honest, this is depressing to talk about.
Yeah,
like I was
it
kind of like every angle at this is the worst angle it could possibly fucking be, because it wasn't like in a. I still think he's like a piece of fucking shit, but like there's so much more worse people than him that are just gonna use him for the benefit, like constantly. And even the right, you know, I'll say this, the person that I think has been given the most empathetic and emotional about this for very good reasons is Candace Owens, you know. And first of all, I saw videos of him being like a fucking like
What?
he was being a little like zesty, just like with Candace. It felt like a 2013 Vine, you know. You know, so it was just like
Bro,
these are
imagine if we
very
lived in an
endearing
alternate-
moments that you.
But now that you said that, imagine if we lived like in an alternate universe where instead of being political influencers, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk were fucking TikTokers.
I know. Fucking
Oh, that'd
like-
be fucking wild. That would be a wild universe.
it's
to
crazy.
live in.
Like you see the people who have who from my eyes like a very abhorrent fucking morals, but like you see them being humans. I think we have to all acknowledge that, like, you know, everyone feels the same things all the time, just for like different ass shit, you know, and it's always created some sort of division, and I think it right now is like the most abrasive, apparent. And, you know, history, you know, not just within the U.S., you know, with it, by the way, you know how young the U.S. is compared to the rest of the world, and for us to have, like, this much fucking shit going on, you know, like, you know, every other country was, like, founded, like, thousands and thousands of years and shit. America's barely 250, and it's doing all this shit, like, we're, like, the main ones, you know, and it's, like, crazy to witness just real time. Like, I don't like Eddington, but like this is fucking Eddington, because Ari Aster just fucking just documented it and made it into a mid movie. Okay, let's move on.
No, but just to wrap that up, I was gonna say, I'm curious because according to I forgot what the fucking name of the company was, but I guess was it what was this show on ABC or NBC? I can't remember.
ABC.
Okay, so ABC's parent company actually came out with a statement after they
Disney, by the way.
After they suspended his show, and they basically said that he was gonna have to like do a public apology.
Mm.
And so I'm assuming that if he were to do said apology, that's when they would, I think, like probably bring the show back.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing, because granted, while I didn't fucking watch a show.
That's why I haven't seen the clip, because I don't want to watch Jimmy Kimmel because he's like I don't find him fucking funny at all.
Well, here's the thing. I actually have a history with Jimmy Kimmel because I didn't really know him from being a late night talk show host. Because for those of you who don't know, I talked about this more so like I think mainly only in the first episode of the podcast that we ever did, but I have mentioned it here like throughout other episodes. But the reason that I originally wanted, because originally before I wanted to do podcast, I wanted to be on radio, and one of the reasons for that is I was really into two radio shows at the time that I found out about, Loveline and then the Kevin and Bean Show, which both of those are Loveline was syndicated, so like you got it in other states, but Kevin and Bean was like a staple for like Los Angeles listeners, and it was on one of the more popular alternative radio stations from back in the day, and so where was I going with this, Mike? I know you. I know you. As soon as I saw your face, I knew you had an idea. Come on, were you listening?
Yeah, because like I was like, where is this going with Jimmy Kimmel? Because like
Jimmy
because
Kimmel,
like I know him from Cranky Yankers. Or
yeah, that's right. No, that's okay. You're kind of like getting to my point. So basically, for those of you who don't know, way before he had his own talk show, he actually used to work for Kevin and Bean on their morning show, and that is where he and funny enough, he actually got that job because he was good friends with Adam Carolla, who was working at the station at the time, and so that's how Jimmy Kimmel ended up getting a job there. But that's how I know him. But no, yeah, like it's just crazy to me. Well, because knowing him from that, but then the only things that I basically know of him ever since he started doing the late night show is that he is somebody that isn't really like afraid to like speak up about shit that he believes. Because this is not the first time that he's done it. So like I'm curious to see, because if I'm to go off like what I believe like his type of character is, I don't think he's gonna give the apology, and so that's kind of like I'm wondering what he's gonna end up doing next. Like, does he take the Jimmy Kimmel Show somewhere else? Does he stop doing it completely? Who knows? But that is the one thing that I am curious to see, like from the outcome of the situation.
It's crazy. Also, like Colbert and Kimmel come from Comedy Central too. Yeah. They're both from like that like edgy 2000s post 9/11 millennial fucking like era of
Bro, you
shows.
know, show was super popular. That was kind of, well, it wasn't like that. It was more like of a clip show, I think. But it was really popular, but I never got into it.
What?
Tosh.0.
Yeah, that was played in the house too. So I know of a lot in Tosh.0. You look back, I mean, I love the videos he shows, but I don't think I liked him. But I haven't seen the show in fucking years, and
yeah, I remember
don't
used
really
to be on all the fucking time, like for some reason.
Because basically like Vine compilations, basically like with just a white dude just making edgy jokes in between the videos, you know. So that's basically all those shows was back in the day, just like Vine compilations.
No,
but like Crank Yankers, and then Jimmy Kimmel. I don't because I sent you this, and I think you hated me for sending you it. But Jimmy Kimmel also helped work with Kanye West on like a pilot for a Comedy Central show.
Oh yeah, you did fucking.
And it was like a puppet related show for like it's like a sketch show. and it was fucking terrible. It's really not funny at all. But if you like to torment yourself with like 2000s cringe, I would highly recommend that because I was like jaw drop from that, and that's how I also know of Jimmy Kimmel and how sometimes not funny he is.
But speaking of,
But this shouldn't have fucking happened.
Yeah.
Fuck this. This is fucking censorship, and
yeah, like
fucking,
that's fucking wild. But
no.
moving on to something that was
Imagine
wild.
Trump, censors us. Will we have to go down? Will we have to?
We'll go down like a sinking ship.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of ships, me and the boys took a fucking random ass side quest adventure to go to fucking San Diego recently. Shout out to the homie Rob because he's the one that like basically told us about it.
Mhm.
Like I legit didn't even know I was going until Rob just told me I was.
Yeah, and you were just like, okay, you didn't ask any questions.
And, like,
You were just down.
Mind you, for like
were just
maybe
down.
for the first maybe for the first three or 4 days
Mhm.
after like this trip, because originally it was gonna be just me, Nick, and Rob, but then Rob said that Luis was coming too.
Mhm.
But prior, like I want to say like 3 days into us like announcing that we're gonna take this trip, right?
Mhm.
Me and Nick still had no fucking idea where Rob wanted to go.
Yeah.
Like, he just said San Diego.
Just the city. Just like, it could be SeaWorld, it could be Legoland. You don't fucking.
Yeah, and so, like, finally, we started, like, getting, like, our
Did you guys
shit
go to
together.
Legoland?
No. And finally, we started getting our shit together, like, actually started, like, planning out the trip a little bit. And so it turns out that Rob wanted to go see, this, it's a stationed, army, basically aircraft ship, the ones that carry all the planes and shit. It's one from I think 1975. It's called the USS Midway, and it's stationed in a port in San Diego, and it's now a museum. And so Rob wanted to go check it out. Now, this was actually my first time ever being inside like a fucking a ship, and let me tell you, having like gone up and down all those stairs and feeling what it's like, especially down on the bottom, like I do not envy anybody from 1975 that was on that shit like while it was active, because bro, I can because here's the thing. Because here's the thing, I'm not a big fan of open water.
Yeah, so what, and that makes sense because why would you want to go on a ship? It's near water. I don't want to go on water.
So it's like I try to avoid water like at all costs, right? Like I don't think I would ever go out on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
No.
But
it's got to be coastal. I don't want to go like across major seas. I just want to be by the side, where the coast is, and that's it.
But basically, so as I'm like climbing, especially when you go down on the lower decks, I was like, bro, like, this is literally like if you're stuck, because granted, well, I mean, it's still obviously a bad situation if you're on the top deck and this happens, but on the top deck, you have a slightly better chance of surviving. But if you're on like some of the bottom tier decks, bro, if something were to happen to that fucking ship, like where it were to get attacked and get sunk, everybody in the bottom bunks is just fucked.
Yeah, everyone's just like unalived. Like they're so unalived. It's like
you
unbelievable.
have to climb up a shit, and not only that, the most fucking steepest fucking stairways you'll ever climb in your fucking life.
Yeah, it's like since we just.
Yeah, wow, you're fucking up. But no, it's literally
like the Jaws scene. Yeah,
it's literally like trying to climb a fucking ladder that hasn't been fucking set up yet.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
So I was like, no, yeah, that shit would fucking suck just to have to like fucking like live down here and just like one day like you're like chilling and then the next day like you're just dead. Like there's no fucking hope at all.
Yeah, no, you're fucked. Like that's why respect your fucking war veterans and like fucking, because that shit fucking. You can imagine like World War II and shit.
Yeah, because it was crazy, bro. Like it was literally like, because I think I want to say that the ship carried around like over 1,000 crew members.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy because one of the things that you notice, like when you start going down on the bottom decks, is just exactly how many fucking mess halls they had. Because obviously they have to feed a shit ton of people, so they can't just have one fucking mess hall.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have like a bunch of them like scattered throughout the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was crazy too because we even saw there was a part in one of the kitchens where they had like a big ass fucking book that was like a recipe book, and it showed you how to like make all the shit that they would make for them. But the crazy part is obviously since like they're cooking for a shit ton of people, all the fucking recipes were in bulk. So like if you had a fucking recipe for brownies, it was brownies for 100 fucking people.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I fucking it was an interesting experience. Like that's like something that I probably wouldn't have done like on my own.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that like I was there with the homies to experience it because it was honestly really fucking fun. And then
You were like, "Where's the brownies at?"
And then after that, we fucking ended up going to this brewery and we got like some beers and a burger.
Mm-hmm.
That was bomb. Oh, and then we had to drop Luis off at this hotel because he was gonna do a job out there.
Yeah.
So he had to stay in this hotel. I had to take a piss, and I wanted to take a piss before we got back on the freeway. So when we dropped him off, I was like, "Hey, Luis, like, can I borrow your restroom real quick?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." But the thing that I didn't know is that I guess he was sharing the room with like another one of his coworkers.
Yeah.
And the funny part is like, since Luis was sharing the room, when we got to the room, like Luis knocked, and the thing is, his fucking roommate wasn't answering, and so we stood there for like about like maybe 10 minutes, like trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
And you like really had a piss, I guess.
Because Luis was calling him and he was knocking, but the fucking guy wouldn't answer. But then, funny enough, like the room right across us, I guess his boss was staying in that one, and he like heard the commotion.
Yeah.
So he like came out to see what was going on, and that's when he fucking saw Luis there, and he's like, yeah, like this fool's not opening the door. So we go all the way to the front desk to get like another key card, right?
Mm-hmm.
we get to the fucking room. The boss like, all right, like, you guys good? We're like, yeah, sure. And then he goes back into his room right after getting us the key card. Luis tries the fucking key card and it doesn't fucking work. So I'm literally just standing there. I have to take a piss. I thought it was gonna be quick. And like and fucking Nick and Robert were like, what the fuck is taking this food so fucking long? And so I'm like fucking like just like waiting out there, and then finally Luis's roommate and coworker answered the door, and I guess he had fallen asleep. So then I finally took a piss and I went back out, and then we drove back home. But that was honestly such a fucking fun trip because it was so unexpected, and I didn't expect to go to a museum.
You met the boss? That was really fucking cool.
Yeah, that shit was funny, dude.
It's hilarious.
It was funny too, like, 'cause literally my introduction to Luis's boss was Luis being like, "Oh, he just has to pee." That's literally like no names or anything.
Like he didn't even like.
Like he just has to pee.
Like he's like, who's this? Oh, his name is he just has to pee.
So
all, like,
that
jumbled up.
That shit was
Hilarious. You met the boss.
Yeah, that was a
funny.
fucking fun ass trip. But speaking of some fun ass adventures, what did you do?
Did you were you able to piss though?
I finally pissed when his roommate finally opened the door.
That was knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he was not.
What I do yesterday? Oh yeah, I saw The Who perform at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was their farewell tour because they're old as fuck. They're like 80 years old. They're 80. The Who, you know, if you don't know who The Who is, crazy, but like they're old as fuck, so I get it. You know, they were popular 60s, 70s. You know, psychedelic, progressive rock.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie though, like rocking out in your 80s is like the most rock star shit ever.
And they were fucking funny too, and since they're British, they're always fucking like, hey, below, get the fucking over there, you know. You know, and they're always cracking jokes. He's like, right now we're still fucking learning how to do this shit. You know, you know, and it's only like it's two of the main like leads, the main guitarist and the singer, and then the main guitarist's brother, and then other bandmates from even other bands, like people from like the openers, the Joe Perry Show, you know, Is that it? Because I because I did wasn't familiar with the opener, but like they were playing a lot of songs, and I probably am, but like I just don't know. Like that's like I went with my mom and my mom's aunt and uncle. So they're boomers and shit. So just hang out with them. My mom's not a boomer, but my aunt and uncle are.
So lit.
But it was like really cool. They were playing all their like greatest hits basically. I was drinking 2 tall ass cans of Modelo.
Nice. You were a Modelo fool.
I was a Modelo fool. I brought my book too. So like during the breaks, I'm just like
Hey,
reading and
another
shit.
fool next to you, like, hey, what's that food? Why does it have words?
He's like, he's like, what the fuck was the pictures at, homie? What the fuck? Why you gotta be a fool for?
Hey, we went to fucking high school with fools.
He's like, it's a fucking. He's like, is that a potato? Oh shit, it's a chicken sandwich, and then like shows you his food in the inside of his top.
Bro, we fucking we literally went to school. We fucking graduated with these foods.
Fuck, you're kind of the food too, low key. Oh, you fucking bypass through all that shit. So like with that, that's some fool ass shit. I hope you know that. That's some actual fool ass shit. FAS.
I got a quick phone call.
Yeah, no problem.
But you were saying so.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great. It was a great time with fam. I got some merch. Birthday present from mom's too. That she bought the merch. Is like a really cool, really great night with the fam and some really good music. These old fucks were rocking the fuck. Also, Steve Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh yeah, I saw
and
that
fucking Slash came through too.
Oh,
that
Slash
shit.
was there?
Yeah, Slash was like the most random. LA gets all the people, bro.
We got fucking Kendrick.
We got Kendrick at Clips. The fucking my brother went to see Kali Uchis, and then and he saw like a whole bunch of people pop up like when they saw her. Bro, I still can't believe we saw that Clips concert. That shit was fucking dope. Insane. But what the fuck? Okay, what was your do one of your transitions?
Okay, so then let's shit on Eminem.
Yeah, let's shit on him.
All right, so for those of you,
you watched the documentary. Yeah.
For those,
I tried watching it. I fell asleep.
For those of you who don't know, recently, and not only that, but they should actually had a fucking limited theater release.
I was thinking about inviting you too. I was thinking about us going to see the theater.
If I would have fucking paid to see this shit, I would have been so fucking mad.
I wanted it, because movies take time and money.
And so anyways, this fucking whatever the fuck this was got managed to somehow get a limited theater release, like when it was initially announced.
But I actually wanted to get the popcorn bucket, the medicine bottle relapse
that
one.
Was dope. That was like the only dope thing about it.
You know what's crazy to see in the recent trends?
What?
The popcorn bucket craze. Like every movie has its own fucking popcorn bucket.
I think my favorite one is the one that they did for Annabelle. Where it's like it's literally it looks like they're eating the popcorn out of her ass.
No, the Dune one is like where it looks like just like a straight cooch.
Wait, which one was that for? What movie is that?
Dune 2, I think.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that the one that looks like an asshole? Or
yeah. It really does look like an ass.
Yeah, dude. Like that's like your.
Man, that's a fucking Becky got BBC type fucking asshole, right?
What the fuck? Oh my! Becky got me. That sounds like one of the oldest fucking porno names ever. That's like that's a fucking relic. Like that's what you fucking mentioned with like Debbie did Dallas or whatever.
Anyways,
no, fuck you. Leave that in. We're talking about the popcorn fucking.
Yeah, but like
ass because it does.
It's
but
looks so much like an ass.
So this initially got a theater release, and then it quickly moved over to Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know what? One night I was just chilling. I was like, you know what? Let me watch this to see what the fuck it even is.
Yeah.
So I checked it out, and so the way that they set this documentary up is they selected a few Eminem quote unquote stands that are super fans of him.
And they talk about the lives and shit,
Yeah,
how it
and
was
they-
fucked up,
yeah.
and then they found Eminem and was
Just-
like, "Oh shit, he speaks to me."
So basically the fucking like the fast run version of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I want to make very clear before I fucking go in on this movie is that I am in no way like disparaging or like making fun of the stories that people actually shared about their own lives in this documentary. I'm strictly only making fun of the documentary itself.
Yes.
Because
and how it was made and structured and formed.
This documentary did not need to fucking exist.
No.
Like, at all. Okay, and one of my big problems with it is because granted, I was a big fan of Eminem, like, back in the day. I would never have considered myself a mega fan of his.
Yeah, because stans just refuse to, like, listen to... Like, they refuse to say that any of his albums are bad.
Yeah, so I never considered myself a super fan, but even with that being said, like, the one thing that I noticed that you'll notice too, if you literally know, like, only, like, 10% about Eminem, that's literally all you fucking need, because the one thing that I did notice that I wanted to point out is there is no fucking brand new information in this documentary whatsoever. Like, everything that is said about Eminem in this documentary is some shit that people who are fans of him should already fucking know.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is I really fucking hated the way that they structured this documentary, because the way that they make it seem is they make it seem like all these people that they selected to interview for this documentary, they're like setting it up to where it's gonna look like Eminem is gonna like come out at the end and like finally like greet them, because like a lot of these people's wish is like obviously to fucking meet him. So that's what you think is gonna happen, and you know what? If that would have been the fucking payoff at the end of this shit, then I probably wouldn't have hated it as much. But given the fact that there's no fucking payoff at all because it doesn't fucking happen,
that's insane.
Like I don't. I don't fucking get because literally all these people could have just made their own separate YouTube videos, like just giving their like exact same story, and it would have been fucking more interesting than this, because like this literally had no point to it. All the information that's in it is shit that you already fucking know.
Yeah, so done in other better formats like the MTV like TV series documentaries and like any other like what from 40 minutes I felt it was pretty fucking boring. I think it's messy. I think it's just rehashing a lot of like shit like we've already, like you said, have heard before. And even if it's just they got the same footage from the interviews, if they edited it just differently in like a different pace that doesn't feel fucking generic as shit that you would find in like a regular YouTube documentary that has like 100K views, like it's just like you know what chill like you
know what would have actually been interesting if in this part of the documentary maybe about talk like because here's the thing.
No, this is professionally released, and also, like, yeah, sure, it's straight to streaming, but no, actually not straight to streaming, because this is fucking went straight to fucking theaters, actually. You know, this is in theaters first before the stream, which is like...
That's what I literally said for the first 5 minutes.
I was like, that really pisses... Like, the more I was watching it, I was like, if I had to watch this in the theater... Like, we would have, too, because I'm a fucking sadomasochist or whatever the fuck it is. But, like, you know, this is just fucking just so boring. Like from the 40 minutes I've watched,
the one thing that actually would have made this shit interesting is that if instead of fucking talking about his past, which people have already talked about like to death at this point, like it would have actually been interesting if he would have shared more about his current life.
Yeah.
Because I mean, not like obviously we don't really know that much except like some of the big headlines about like how he just like recently became a grandpa and all that shit. Like if you would have talked about shit like that actually would have been more fucking interesting, because that would be shit that we don't know about.
And not only that, it'll also correlate with how maybe the stans grew up with his music and how they matured and became adults through his music too. It would have added more of a humanity and an empathy and like an ounce of like attachment to be like, oh
I'm
wow,
really,
like
just
upset
because after having seen it, this shit just felt like a fucking cash grab.
No, it was like Yeah, no, yeah, I completely like agree with you. It's
Because
basically like useless.
because they didn't need a fucking theater release, dude.
Useless, and even as a streaming release, it's like I've seen like YouTube videos that are like longer than this movie that are way better paced and shit like that. And and post COVID, we've been just getting a whole bunch of video essays that are like 4 to 5 hours
I
long.
was gonna say,
So it was
there's probably a fucking YouTuber that did this more interestingly.
Oh yeah, there's you literally look up. There's like 20 years worth of Eminem YouTube videos and documentaries on fucking YouTube itself. So
No, you know what I was gonna say? I lied. I said I wasn't gonna make fun of anybody, but the one fucking dude where I'm not surprised that Eminem like wouldn't want to meet you, like because it was that one white dude who I think he was from Germany. He was the one with the gray sweater,
Yeah.
and the black cap, I think. He was talking about how there was a scene in the documentary where they were actually the producers of the shit were like riding him around in a car, and they like drove him to the shelter, which is a very famous spot in Detroit where Eminem used to rap battle. And they were like, I think the producers had asked him like, oh, like would you be excited if Eminem was here? And also, that's another thing that I hated. I hate the fact that if you notice, like, the producer sometimes would say something to where, like, it would kind of tease that he was supposed to come out at the end. But again, it never fucking happens. So I don't know why they chose to do that. But in this scene, it was a perfect example because one of the producers was like, oh, like, would you be excited if Eminem was here right now? But then this dude said probably one of the creepiest things that was said throughout this whole documentary because I'm like, if you like, listen, I respect the fact that you're a fan of someone, but if you know this much about him, that's kind of fucking weird. Because they asked him that, right? And he was like, oh, I know Eminem's not here. And then the producer was like, oh, like, why is that? And like, because I know what his car looks like. And he just said that like so fucking casually. I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm like, yeah, bro. If
no, don't know my car.
Yeah,
fuck
like,
you.
Yeah, I was like, if I was Eminem, I was like, no, I'll pass on that.
He was like, you know what?
Like, imagine he just met everybody else except him.
He was like, nah, that's good. We have to scrap the ending. It might be a boring documentary, but scrap that. I'm not here to see that fuck.
That one line was fucking weird as shit. Like, I was like, yeah, bro, if you.
Yeah, that's gross.
The fucking model car of the person you fucking listen. That's like, I don't know.
No, unless they're like, but Eminem doesn't flash like that. He's not. In fact, I think Eminem should
that's
do
another
like
thing too. Like,
Eminem doesn't flash. If
so
it's like Pusha T or Clips, it was like, oh, they drive like
a Rolls Royce. That's not fucking surprising. But it's like Eminem is like, bro, he literally doesn't put that out. So the fact that you know that is even more weird.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Eminem at this age should just start going like jiggy braggadocio, because whenever he does jiggy braggadocio shit, even nowadays, is actually kind of fucking dope. But no, he
just come out with like fucking look like 2 Chainz.
Imagine next Eminem album has like a Clips feature, and it's just Eminem just fucking up the song entirely with that. God damn it, that's such a hater thing to say.
Yeah, fucking listen.
But he's so. Because he doesn't fly, he just like does edgy shit all the time, So him just like doing that, knowing that, it is fucking weird. That's really fucking weird.
Yeah, it was but yeah, just to wrap it up, that shit was just a pointless ass fucking documentary.
No, I don't think. I feel like I want to go back to finish it just to log in the Letterboxd, but I don't feel like it. I didn't
even log it into Letterboxd.
It's not worth You're just gonna let it forget in time.
Yeah.
But then you might. Maybe later in your later years, watch it again by accident.
I'm never watching this shit again.
It's good to know. It's good. It's in the brain that like it fucks you up.
But real quick, I want to give a very brief movie review of a movie that I watched recently. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna like skim through it because I don't want to take up too much time. But I recently watched the A24 produced war movie, Warfare.
It's on Max, right?
Yeah, it recently came out on Max. It was, I think it was a movie that came out at the top of this year.
Yeah.
And I was super excited about it.
I was actually gonna watch that today.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
it was a movie that I was excited for when I first heard it announced, because I was like, you know what, like I don't, and I even googled this too because I wasn't sure, because like is this like the first war movie that A24 has made?
No, they made other
No,
war
and it turns out
movies.
this is actually their second one.
Yeah.
Their,
What
their
I've seen Civil War though. As a
Yeah.
director of Civil War,
yeah, so that's
I thought it was solid.
so
It was
that's the
solid.
other movie that I guess came out. And this is technically their second war movie that they've ever made. Um, and I was very curious to see like what an A24 war movie was going to look like. And bro, the one thing that I will say, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's at the very beginning, and you're still going to be amazed when you see
Yeah.
it. But
Let me guess. With you and A24, I'm guessing it's just ass.
yes, literally the first fucking frame of this movie
It's just
is a
ass.
close up of a fucking ass, dude. And,
That's how you need to start the war movies.
And so, like, there's that. So, like, okay, as soon as I saw it, like, okay, this is definitely an A24 movie.
You know, it's like the fucking show Rob showed us, Generation Kill.
Yeah.
Very great show, but you know it has the most edgiest things in there because like it's documented by fucking actual human beings in that era. You know, so.
But I was gonna say so.
But is it good?
It was So okay, so the thing that I liked about it is the one thing you'll notice throughout the movie is that there's basically no score or any type of soundtrack to it. So it's all very like immersive as far as the sound goes, because like there's no extra like music being added in. Like it's literally just the ambiance of the movie itself and the setting that you're in. So essentially what this movie is it follows a group of soldiers that are basically staking out I can't remember if it was I think it was Iraq, I want to say. I might be wrong about that. I have to double check. But they're basically stationed out there somewhere, and they have a sniper that's like watching like basically all the people go by. Like I'm assuming like they're trying to scope out like suspicious looking people. Then you have like people that are like other soldiers that are writing and logging everything down. You have other soldiers that are giving like radio updates to their other post. And so the one thing that I will say that I enjoyed at the very beginning of this movie is that it obviously I wouldn't know because I don't have any experience like with being in the army at all.
But it feels like immersive. And
Yeah,
realistic.
but I want to say if I were to guess, I feel like they did a pretty accurate job of like just showing you like the mundane shit that really like I would imagine happens for like 80, I want to say like 75 or 80% of the time they're actually working out there. You know, it's not just like constant like gunfights and like gun battles and shit. So like you see like all the mundane shit about like them like updating their coordinates, updating the status on everything. And so that's a big part of the beginning of the movie. But they also use that to like kind of introduce you to the characters and give you like a little taste of their personality, because this is actually based on a true story.
Yeah, I think one of the co-directors, like one of the directors, is from the Alex Garland, director of Civil War, but also Annihilation and Ex Machina. But also one of the other directors is an actual veteran who used to serve in that war. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm not surprised that it's like very grounded, realistic, and immersive and
so
stuff.
the one thing that I will say is that
Because Garland knows how to immerse you in a movie.
it really fucking puts you into that state of mind where like, you know, you kind of start to ease into like the mundane tasks that each one of them has to do until all of a sudden like shit just hits the fan. And I really think that they explored that very well, like as far as like trauma goes, like all the shit that you had to deal with after after shit goes down. And I felt like they did a very like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they did such a good job of immersing you into that movie that and sometimes it is like uncomfortable, like some of the shit that you have to see, because it's like fuck, like because you're just like, if you imagine, like you place yourself in that environment, you're like fuck, like you're just basically in this situation, you have no way out, you just kind of have to like brace yourself prepare for whatever comes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just very, very like tension building. And while I did like it, it wasn't because I ended up giving it a 3.5 on Letterbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that for this because again, like I said, the beginning, while I personally think it's great, it is like kind of a slow build to kind of get you familiar with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing too is it is a movie that only takes place mainly in one location, so that is something that uh, it is something that like while I think they did a good job with it, it is something that can be a struggle like for a movie like trying to keep people's attention with only keeping it in one particular location.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I thought it was actually a very great war movie. Like I said, very like tension building and very immersive. So I would highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Cool. I'll definitely try to check it out. Check it out soon. I'm a fan.
So speaking of that,
Fan of Garland's directing, not writing.
We've just recently realized that we haven't done a fucking album of the month for this month.
And by the way, sorry for the lighting. I know it's darker because like usually we're recording in the morning.
Yeah, it's a late night.
Right now it's 7. So like the light we usually have for the sun is not here because it's dark outside. So I'm sorry. And it just broke like that. I don't know what the fuck happened, but like it definitely didn't start working anymore. So our lighting is a little shoddy. Our bad, but we are gonna do a fucking thing that we completely fucking forgot about.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing the album of the wheel.
That's DoorDash, Raul.
Yeah. Fuck you! Why'd you put me on blast? But
fucking DJ Ackett.
Oh, that shit was fucking funny.
He opens it just like pure DoorDash order.
But no, so we're gonna be doing the album of the month for this month. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we get. Let's fucking go!
No. Wait, what is it?
Okay. So the next album that me and Mike are going to listen to for this month is Sugar Free Street Gospel.
That's fucking finally a really great, amazing album. Oh my god. That's actually fucking amazing. Shout out to Two Scoops, fucking awesome. Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna post this clip right here just so he could see it on Twitter, just to know to tune into the next
Street
one.
Gospel. I cannot
That's a
wait
fucking. Have you heard it?
No.
Oh man, you're from and then he's Pomona, bro. He's like close to us, man.
No, I know. I'm very excited to hear.
Man,
I'm very excited.
Oh man,
I think I'm more excited. Like, granted, like obviously it's one of those albums that like people go like, "Oh, really? You haven't heard that?" Yeah. But I think for me, it's more exciting because like I cannot wait to see what I'm actually gonna get into.
Yeah, no, it's classic West Coast shit, produced by DJ Quick, very underrated and prominent and important West Coast producer rapper. So yeah. Next episode, we might talk about a whole bunch of shit. Actually,
I'm just fucking happy that
I'm
happy we didn't get the fucking watch
or the LLJ or like the what was the other one? Because it was oh my god, those I'm so happy it's a good album and not the fucking albums I chose.
But so yeah, stay tuned on the next episode. We will be reviewing. I just realized.
Yeah.
The next episode is gonna be fucking Sugar Free Street Gospel and fucking
Female Trouble review. That's gonna be amazing. What a dynamic duo. Two of the greatest in their films.
All right, now that made me sad. Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. Want to do some goddamn recommendations? Yeah. What should I recommend? Definitely not the Joey Badass album.
Why'd you fucking send a stray like that? Damn. We didn't have to mention that man's album. Damn, like Joey B.
It's a mixtape, man.
That's just an excuse.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the classic right here. I'm gonna recommend 2 albums. Westside Gunn's recent album, Heels Have Eyes 2. I think I like the last one. I know that got some mixed reviews, but I like the last one. But this one, I think it's very underrated right now. I think it's fucking amazing. This is like one of my favorite West Side Gun projects in a while. Raul, you have to hear this one. This shit is so
Which
fucking
one is
good.
it?
Heels Have Eyes 2.
Oh,
It came out last month. Highly recommend it. And I'm gonna recommend a classic since I was in a West Side Gun mood. I was in Eclipse mood. I'm naturally gonna be in a fucking Stove God Cooks mood.
Steve God?
I can't believe I did that like 3 times, bro. That shit is fucking funny. But Stove God Cooks Reasonable Drought. And that came out 2020. It's 40 minutes long. And it's some of the best drug rap you'll ever fucking hear. Not only this decade, easily this decade, but just in the past 20 years. It's fucking amazing album. Really amazing. Really amazing album. And
Alright,
yeah,
so-
those are my 2 recommendations.
So for me, I'm actually gonna show love to the boy Joey.
Hey.
Well, I'm not gonna recommend the whole album. I'm gonna recommend,
Look at you doing good.
I'm gonna recommend one of the tracks off his newest album, which is "Lonely at the Top." And the track that I'm gonna recommend off of it is called "High Roller." I just really like the vibe of that one. I like the sound of it. I thought that was like that's one of my personal favorites from the album. So again, that's High Roller off of Joey Badass's latest album, Lonely at the Top.
I like the first 2 tracks. I think the first 2 tracks are really goddamn
Yeah.
good. Really goddamn good. So I would
I
recommend,
recommend
those
that one. And that's going to be it for this episode.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed. And
A little quick one,
Yeah.
at first we were daunted by it, I'm not gonna lie, but it got through, and I think, it was
and
fun.
the next one is going to be fucking interesting.
And yeah, the next one's gonna be, I think next week is gonna be my birthday too. I do not know.
You think? Like,
I don't know. I
think
listen.
was born today.
Yeah, it's gonna be sometime next week. I don't know. By the time you see this, it's probably gonna be now. Anyway, follow
By the time I
us on.
post it. No, but so make sure you subscribe and you follow us on all the socials.
Subscribe,
Links
please.
to those are down in the description. And
Yeah.
we will see you all in the next episode.
Peace. By the way, love each other, and that includes sex.